Hey guys, what is up? It is the founder here with a new video. Sorry it's been so long since my last video, it's just that as most of you probably know, I moved recently, so I had to unpack boxes and get it all cleaned out and organized and all that kind of stuff. So right now I'm going to start off with talking about Starhawk. So a while back I did my first impressions, and now I want to do my developed impressions. I'm going to do this with any game that I do a first impressions video on. After a while I will make developed impressions, so like after they come out with a bunch of patches and things like that, and I get used to the game and stuff like that, then I feel that I'm more qualified to talk about it, so then I'll talk about it then. Because most first impressions are normally just like, oh wow, this game's so awesome, and then turns out to really not be. So I also do developed impressions, that's what I'm going to do now. It's just going to be a kind of short segment. So I actually stand by most of what I said after playing it in regards to multiplayer. The only thing that I now am different on in terms of multiplayer is that they fixed most of their glitches pretty much. Not to say that it's completely glitch free, but a lot of the stuff like that, gray screen when you spawn, I haven't had that anymore. I'm pretty sure that they fixed that. And also, the other thing that I'm going to change my point of view on is campaign, because campaign got much harder when I put it on a harder difficulty, obviously. But aside from that, I personally still don't like the game. That's just a matter of preference. I don't like the pace, the pace of play, how it's very, like it's, because the maps are so big, it's a very slow game, in my opinion, and I just don't really like that. Same reason why I don't particularly like Battlefield. They're kind of two similar games, although completely different themes. The gameplay in itself is rather similar, so it's just a matter of personal preference. I don't like the game, and I stand by most of what I said in my first impressions video. But the main topic that I want to talk about today is possessions. Background information. I am very fortunate. I still live with my parents because I'm in high school, and I just have, I am incredibly fortunate to be in the situation that I'm in. And as I said earlier, I moved recently, and packing and unpacking, that was a pain. Like, we had the moving crew come in. It literally took one guy 2 full days to pack up everything that was in my mom's kitchen. And I mean, I personally have a lot of things, but a lot of it is just complete shit. Like, I don't even know why I had it. For example, as we were unpacking, there was this box, and it was just like miscellaneous things. Like, it was just like some miscellaneous object box that came from my closet. So I take it out, I open it up, and I start looking inside, and with everything that was in that box, I would take it out, look at it, ask why the fuck I have that, and then throw it back into the box to be thrown away or given away. And another thing, like, I had track spikes from 8th grade just lying around. And because they were lying around, as I was walking around my room, I didn't realize that they were lying around, so I accidentally stepped on my track spikes, which wasn't exactly particularly fun or enjoyable. And they were from 8th grade. Why do I even still have those? I mean, it's just like, why do we have half of the shit that we have? And the other problem is, we kind of live in like this brand era right now, and we buy things because of the brand name on it. Like, Nike comes out with a new shoe and everybody has to have one. Apple comes out with the new anything and everybody has to have one. And we buy things not necessarily because we like it or that we feel that that product is superior to the competitor's version of the same product, but because it will make us look cool or popular or show that we have money. And oftentimes our possessions become our obsessions, and we lose perspective on what we need and what we want. And cars are a great example. One can buy a decent used car for fairly cheap, and it'll get you from point A to point B, and it'll get the job done as you need. But some people decide to go and buy sports cars and go 200 miles an hour. Not necessarily because they want to go 200 miles an hour, but because they want to look cool or show other people that they have money. The only place that you can go 200 miles an hour are going to be at a racetrack, which most people who buy these types of cars don't do, or at the Autobahn. So when you're in the States, you're kind of screwed. So, I mean, you're really not buying it for the speed. I mean, I have a 4Runner. If you want speed, you can buy a 4Runner. I almost went 120 in that car. Like, that's fast. So you don't need a sports car to go fast. I guess what I'm trying to say is that we should stop buying things because it has a certain logo on it, or simply because it's expensive and we want to look cool, but rather we should buy things for functionality. And this isn't to say that you shouldn't ever buy anything if its main purpose is entertainment. Like, I mean, I have a pool table in my room. Like, I don't need that, but it's still really fun, and I like playing pool a lot. I have a drum set in my room. I don't need that, but I really like playing drums. So it's not that you shouldn't ever buy anything that you don't like need. You shouldn't. I'm not saying that you shouldn't buy things that aren't necessities, but it's just you should really start thinking about like, okay, really, how often am I going to use this, and why do I need this? Why do I want this? Before you start buying something, and that's not to say, I mean, like for example, the kids in Ferry in Jamaica. When I talked about the part 3 of my Jamaica series, I mean, they practically had nothing, but they were still some of the happiest people I'd ever met. It just goes to show that material things aren't all that there is to life. So I think that's the end of the video, guys. If you liked it, hit the thumbs up button. If you did not like it, hit the dislike button. Either way, leave a comment below telling me what I did wrong, what I did right. And if you like my videos, go ahead and hit the subscribe button up top. And I will see you guys next time.